Hey everyone, welcome to the full moon forecast for our full moon in Scorpio on May 5th, 2023. Thank you so much for tuning in. The themes we have for this full moon is express your emotions, letting go gently, and circle back. So stay tuned for the full moon meditation and the full forecast. Let's dive straight into our full moon meditation. So make yourself comfortable, sit down or lay down if you feel very tired, but try to stay awake. And just close your eyes for a short moment. Start inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Continue to breathe in this way and just be aware of your breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let go of the day and everything that happened just before this precise moment. Just breathe it out and inhale new prana or new energy into your entire body. And exhale fully. If you're sitting up, feel the natural curve in your lumbar spine and the top of your head reaching up towards the sky, and your pelvis, your pubic bones, your tail rooting down into Mother Earth. Continue to breathe. And if you're laying down, still feel that long spine of yours. Keep the lumbar spine in a natural curve, whatever feels comfortable to you. Continue to breathe through your entire body. And then just gently ask yourself, how is my body doing right now? How is my body doing right now? Continue to breathe, and whatever comes up, just let it be. It's okay. It's okay. Continue to breathe. This is how I feel. Okay, this is how I feel. And with your next exhalation, let it go. Inhale new energy. And exhale, let it go. And just sit in your acceptance of what is right now. After your next exhalation, gently open your eyes again and come back to our circle here. And let's dive into the themes for this full moon in Scorpio on May 2nd, 2023, a lunar eclipse. For those of you who don't know me yet and are new to my work, welcome. I'm Magie or Magdalena Chandrakai. I'm a soul communicator, and every new and full moon I tune into the energies of Lunar to get the messages from the divine feminine for us to work with during this lunar cycle. So today I'm tuning in on the full moon in Scorpio, a lunar eclipse happening on May 5th, 2023 here in Sweden where I am. So if you want a more in-depth version of this, plus rituals that go with these themes to aid you in balancing and navigating your own inner goddess and the divine feminine and what's coming up for you in your life, I strongly suggest you check out my article, the written version of this full moon forecast, because I write things that I don't say here, and these prompts and reflection works are in the written version of this full moon update. So I'll leave the link to that one below. Now let's take a look at our first theme. Our first theme is express your emotions. So this is quite a grand theme that comes up for us in this lifetime, in this time in history, because we want to heal the divine feminine and the suppressed divine feminine, which is our emotions. So now also we have the full moon transiting in Scorpio. Scorpio is a lot of emotions. It's the deep, dark waters underneath. So even though things might seem okay, seem good at the surface, underneath is really like a river raging with emotions or suppressed feelings or past wounds or karmic knots or situations you haven't dealt with yet, or they're coming back again because that's how we run stories, right? Until we become aware of become aware beforehand, oh, this is a story or a drama or a karmic pattern that I have been repeating in my life, and I don't want it anymore. So coming to that awareness, that is really a point where we can shift things with our energy, with our conscious awareness. And that has huge impact in our life, of course. So this Scorpio full moon, also lunar eclipse, can really help us shed the light on this. We have the opportunity to go deeper into these karmic patterns or old behaviors. We have the opportunity to see them in a new way. For many of us, also see layers that we haven't seen before, and coming to this point of awareness in our practice, like, oh, I've seen how this happens before, so now when I'm more aware of it, I can adjust and fine-tune and change and move more gently forward and know how to deal with it in another way, because I don't want to repeat it. Or maybe I can also see, when I've practiced enough, I can see beforehand, oh, this is coming up, I'm gonna have to face it and work through it. But when I see it beforehand, I become way more efficient and I can deal with these things in another way. So maybe I can smooth it out by starting practicing earlier, or really be like, okay, now I'm going through this wave and I know what I have to do to take care of myself, and I know what I have to do to be able to release it, and I know that I have to be more aware when I journey through this, aware of myself, my expression, my reactions to things, and how I interact with people. Having said that, though, that it takes a lot of practice, so do be gentle with yourself, have patience with yourself, and use this void now to just do that reflection and look within, like, ask yourself, is this something I'm repeating? How was this last time for me? Can I see how this is related? And so much has to do with symbols and the unseen, the feelings, the thread in between. Like, of course, it's not going to play out exactly the same. But if you're really on a basic or a starting level with a certain area that you need to cleanse out, that might repeat very similar. Like, something we usually bring up is like, you repeat the same kind of relationship patterns. Like, you have a really dysfunctional relationship, and then you go to the next dysfunctional relationship, and then the next. That's a very classic example. Until you become aware, like, this is not how I want to live or how I want my relationship, then you can stop it, you can change it. And then there's a practice follow, of course, with like, how am I going to change it? What can I change inside myself to remove this behavior? Because what is it that I need to see? This is a little sidetracked, but still it ties into the expression of the emotions, because it's usually tied down into our emotions. And we want to avoid the explosive reactions or the emotions or feelings coming out explosively, right? So think about it as a pot where you're gonna boil some golden milk, right? And you have the stove on burning, it's just fiery hot, and you put the lid on. And you know it's calm in the beginning, but you're gonna keep the lid on, and then eventually, boom, it's like a volcano, and the milk just boils over in a second, and it's all gone. We want to avoid that, of course, for our own health and for others. Like, how are you spilling that volcanic milk onto others in your journey? So it's through expressing your emotions. So in these deep scorpionic waters now, find languages and arts that can support you in expressing your emotions. There could be different forms of this, and for some it might help to look to the Taurian sun and just look up a little bit, because we can easily get so sucked into the void and the darkness and the pain, and we stay here. But try to look up for the Taurian sun and like, hey, how can I start to create? How can I start to get practical with words or expressions or my hands? For others, conversely, then, as I just mentioned with the lid, there's also a group of people trying to keep the lid on, but it will explode. So do have the courage to go in and face the emotions and that gut feeling you have. This feels a little uncomfortable. I have to work it out and see what it is. So again, this is a huge topic, and it's an ongoing also in our lifetime, because we live in this transitional point in history where we're working on healing the old wounds, like simultaneously healing old wounds of the suppressed feminine, while practicing being our own light. So we want to let go of the old and we want to bring in the new, and this is as an ongoing deep practice in a delicate balance, but the goddess shall rise again like the phoenix. So in order for her to take up more space and be more light, and for order to you to be and shine your own true light, as I usually say, you have to be able to see in the dark first. As soon as I received this message several days ago, before even tuning in on this full moon, actually, I instantly felt, wow, this is a topic we'll go deeper into in my week-long full moon workshop. So this moon training is really a container where we go deeper into the current full moon energies, but also how you can work with the momentum of the full moon quarter to be able to gain more clarity, to be able to gain more energy, and to know how to proceed and move forward. So while we hold each other, supporting each other in this circle, we're each responsible for our own journey. Because we want to also implement this practice immediately into our everyday life, because that's when it's usually gets tricky to have to always have and be and stand in that light that you are in every day, in every situation that you face and you meet. So I will share some very simple and powerful tools for us to be straight in where we are, where you are in your life, and just start to implement that straight away and help you in this navigating this journey, really. So we'll go in deeper into this theme. If you're interested in joining us, would love to have you there. Just click the link below to register, and we start on Sunday, May 7th. Our second theme for the full moon in Scorpio is letting go gently. So this is a different kind of letting go. We might feel like we reach maturity in several areas, or in one area we've been working with for a long time, that we can let go more gently, more lovingly. Because in this lunar eclipse, the great goddess of the underworld meet the great goddess of love. So if we use this energy wisely when we're in between and we tune in on that void and the symbols that we are in, we can utilize both of their energies to let go more softly, let go more lovingly, maybe even with pleasure and joy, even though we know this is avoidable. We know this is something we need to release. It could be a very beautiful thing to release. Actually, releasing is a very beautiful thing. It's very orgasmic. When we learn to release, we let go of mind's control. We surrender to the unknown, and we just surrender to the flow. It's the present awareness. It takes a lot of practice to be aware of the releasing process all the way. But when we become aware of the releasing process all the way, this is where we can move into a more loving and orgasmic way of releasing. But right now, we can all reach that level of more gentleness. Having said that, don't be surprised if you experience chaos within, around you at first or during, because the goddess of distortion births beauty from the chaos. So staying with your practice and your focus all the way, even if there's confusion, everything is welcome here. Mother Earth holds you. This is really linking back to our first theme with how are you handling those big emotions. Remember to be with it and be present. That's really the core of everything. Be gentle with yourself as you ride these strong currents of our Scorpio full moon. And maybe there are many things you need to release little at a time, and let it be so, instead of releasing all heavily at once. Our third theme for the full moon in Scorpio, May 5th, 2023, is circle back. So you might experience this full moon a little bit more inward drawing in energy levels than previous full moon, or as usual, even though we have a heightened energy and we want to get going and we're eager to express and release. You might still, because we have the scorpionic energies of looking within and looking deep into the underwaters, we still have Mercury retrograde asking us to really take it slow, to reevaluate every step of the way, every step of the process. Just stop, reevaluate. That's the lesson of Mercury retrograde, and you will have very beautiful outcomes if you stay with this reevaluation in that way. So I have a free reflection work or evaluation work practice that you can do if you want more support in your Mercury retrograde journeys. You can click the link below to access that. Combined then with the lunar eclipse, having us see in the dark in a more profound way than before, maybe. So you might find that you want to take a little slow and sit with yourself maybe for a longer time, and this whole full moon quarter might be a bit more inward facing for you, to be able to really work with what is coming through. And that is when we have this opportunity to circle back. Circling back means then the evaluation, continuous reflection, and continuously putting yourself outside of the emotions and that what's coming up for you, what's stirring up, like circling back and like, hey, what is this? Is this really me? Is this something I want to hold? Or is this something I want to let go of? Is this something that I can work with in a different manner? Continue to circle back to yourself, and instead of going out too much. And also, the worst thing you can do right now is to ignore it, to ignore whatever comes up. Remember that boiling pot with milk, the volcano milk I talked about. Just do your practice and all is well. Remember that everything is practice. What I usually say and come back to, everything is practice. Just do your practice and all is well. Because you will know, unless you already do, what is. It is that you can't ignore. So also from that point of that feeling in your belly, or the emotions coming up, or a situation you've experienced before, or a new one where you just find yourself, whoa, what's going on? What is this? These situations will tell you something. And so do the work you need to really let go of it once and for all, because you can't hold back any longer. You can't move forward into that beauty that you want to birth in yourself, that you want to become and be and spring from this. So prioritizing yourself, your language and your art, your well-being in all kinds of ways, as this will have huge payoffs right now. If you just sit with yourself and you give this nourishment and the support that you need. And I know this is not always easy, as yes, we are journeying this life alone, but there is still ways to support one another, to give and receive support. And check out my previous video on how to support like a goddess, if you haven't already, to get a perspective on what support really could mean for you, and what it means seen from the divine feminine. Support in this way, we also have the ability to grow in holding ourselves and supporting ourselves, and that's really invaluable wisdom, being able to support yourself in the process and the journey you're going through right now. If you feel ready to commit to your practice, do you want support from the circle of sisters while you take full responsibility of your own practice and your own journey, you're so welcome to join us for a week-long moon training, the full moon workshop, where we use the momentum of the full moon quarter to gain more clarity, to gain more energy, to stay focused on our practice, and learn how to navigate the themes that we are in right now with this full moon energy, and how we will get our clarity, our energy to last all through and longer. So check it out if you want to join us. If you want to know more, I leave the link here below. Thank you so much for coming to the full moon forecast in Scorpio, the lunar eclipse, May 5th, 2023. I'm Magic Maggie, and remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And subscribe also to get these energy updates in your inbox. They're free and you get them straight in your inbox, both the video and the written version, with rituals and prompts that go with the themes. So thank you everyone for coming to the circle and the practice today. I hope to see you again very soon. Much love. Om